Welcome to On Air with Kash. Our guest today is best known for his role as Dr. Gregory Williams on Grey's Anatomy. He's currently in pre-production to reprise his role as Lenny in the martial arts Kid 2, Payback. He just wrapped a new web series along with a new pilot. Please welcome Brandon Tyler Russell.
How's it going?
Brandon, how are you, my friend? Good to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see you too, man. I'm doing well. How are you?
Amazing. Brandon, your career starts off, you land the role in Smitty, and you're working with icons like Peter Fonda, Gossett Jr., Mira Sorvino. I mean, that must have been a dream job.
Yeah, no, it was pretty awesome. I mean, it's hard to believe that was, I guess really like the big start of it all. And that was 2008, 2009. Mm-hmm. It feels like it was just yesterday, but it's also been like a very long time. So.
We were just talking with someone the other day about our Facebook memories. Like, oh man, remember 10 years ago we were shooting that movie, and then that joke.
It'll pop up all the time, yeah. And I think I had one recently where, actually, like within the last week, there was a Facebook memory that had popped up that was from the set of Smitty, actually, with like, I know, like I was in it. My cousin Xander, he was in it. He just turned 18 in March, and he was like 5 or 6 in these photos. So it's crazy to see how much things have changed. But it's even weirder when Facebook just pops up out of nowhere and is like, hey, check out this. You forgot about this memory, didn't you? And you're like, yes I did. Thank you for reminding me.
Oh, thank you for reminding my hairstyle or whatever clothes I thought were cool back then, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, we don't talk about the hairstyle.
You've always had good style, dude. You did the martial arts Kid that had gotten you into the martial arts. It had a very good anti-bullying message, and you're going to reprise your role as Lenny in the sequel?
Yeah, so that's another film that pulled in a surprising fan base for it. The martial arts world is definitely its own kind of fandom, along with how horror has all of its campy like horror fans, and the martial arts is it's kind of the same thing. I mean, take Cobra Kai for example. It's incredibly popular, even though the Karate Kid movie was from however long ago it was. And so I know a lot of people are excited for the sequel. I am too. I'm excited to get back in there and continue martial arts training, because I really enjoyed kind of karate chopping some stuff. So
I love it. I know I studied martial arts too when I was younger. I trained at Howard Jackson's studio. He worked with, and Chuck Norris was the president. So it was cool. Like our senseis, they would be training us like, Sensei Chuck Norris, he's going to beat me up on Walker, Texas Ranger next week. And then
that's so awesome.
Yeah. So that was cool. And then one time it was really cool. We had Pat Johnson, who was actually the referee in the Karate Kid movies. He was the first sensei who came in to break boards with us. That was my first time breaking a board, and we were so starstruck because he was in the Karate Kid movies, and we were always watching those and Bruce Lee movies in class.
Right.
Ninja Turtles. He trained all the Ninja Turtles for the.
That's so awesome.
Oh
yeah, that's cool. And on top of that, to have him like teach you how to do the boards and stuff, that's pretty cool.
Oh, it's incredible. Yeah. And, I, because I studied a bit when I was a kid, and then I recently got back to it prior to the pandemic. There were just things that would come up like, hey, you want to take a yoga class, or I took a jujitsu class. And then we also did wire fighters. And there was actually, I recognized a few, there were some actors who I had seen on Cobra Kai and some other stunt coordinators for some other action shows, but it was just so liberating to just have those harnesses tied. I mean, you feel like you're a Marvel action in the Matrix.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's a pretty cool feeling. Pretty cool feeling.
You mentioned your character Lenny was bullied, and there is a good anti-bullying message in the obviously in the original and going forward into the sequel.
Yeah, no, I've done quite a few projects actually where my characters have gotten bullied. I mean, even Smitty was like that. Martial arts Kid was like that. I did even some short student films when I was younger that had messages like that. So I really enjoy doing projects where they kind of push that bullying message, just because I mean, even myself, I was bullied as a kid. So it's important to kind of push stuff like that, because I feel like for a while it kind of surfaced the entirety of the topic of bullying, and I feel like within the last couple of years it's kind of diminished, and a little bit it doesn't seem as talked about as it used to be. It's always there, but it's never been like an overly discussed topic like it used to be. There's been cyberbullying thrown in there and stuff like that because that's a lot more, common nowadays. But yeah, so I'm excited to work on the project and just kind of help push that, that movement out there and the message of anti-bullying in general.
No, I appreciate that, and I was bullied as a kid too. And it's where like I actually end up getting roles where I am the bully. And so when I play those roles, it's like I want to show how bad bullying is. So it's I'm always just self-conscious by acting like, hey, just so you know, I mean, this is just, he's like, dude, we're actors. So I always feel like I get self-conscious,
Yeah.
but they're like, Cash, just bring it, give it. So but yeah, if the performance is good and the audience gets the message, then I'm happy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, that's all you could really ask for. I believe I too have also had a couple of roles where, I've had to play the bully, and it feels weird because, even though we're actors, you're sitting there, and when you're used to being the victim as opposed to the actual bully, you do it and you're like, ooh, I feel kind of gross. I don't like that. Like, I feel bad. I feel like, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, like you said, you tell them just like, hey, I just want to apologize in advance. They're like, no, don't worry about it. We're actors. It's cool. Hit me with your best shot. And then as soon as they cut, I'm like, again, I am so sorry. Like, I did it. They're like, no, don't worry about it. So yeah, I get you.
There was this one, it was called Before I Got Famous. It was starred Anthony Mon. He plays an aspiring actor who moves here from China. And the episode that I mean, basically I was this ruthless producer. It was like pretty much Tom Cruise in Tropic Thunder, more nasty. And
Les Grossman. Yeah.
oh yeah, I was Les Grossman, and it was the kinds of roles that Anthony's character was getting called in for, and really drawing attention to certain experiences that people have. And I had to say a lot of I'm reading the script like, is it okay if I say it? And like, Cash, just really like, we just want you to bring the realism. So I was just kind of channeling that Les Grossman or Gavin from Silicon Valley kind of just.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's smart. That's funny.
You mentioned horror movies. You're attached to a movie called Smile.
Yeah, it is. That's another one that's kind of, it's in the pre-production phase. It's a really cool concept, the actual film itself. And, of course, Tony Moran's great. It's definitely one of those things that you don't get to hear very often, to be like, yeah, well, get to work with the original Michael Myers. It's cool, not in like a braggy way. It's just one of those things that you don't hear that often. So I'm excited about that. And aside from like the Smile horror movie, I'm also working at actual Hollywood Horror Nights at Universal Studios. So I'm doing that this year too. Scare acting.
Awesome. What can you tell us your role in Horror Nights this year?
Yeah, I'm gonna be a purger.
All right, I'm a big Halloween guy, so I'm definitely going to be paying a visit this Halloween.
Yeah, no, definitely. Let me know when you plan to come, and I'll give you my set times. But I'm one of the many purgers, so
oh,
yeah,
nice. Hey, I like a surprise too, and I love getting scared at Halloween. So you're on.
Perfect. There you go. I'm a big Halloween guy, so I'm very excited about this season. Not just HHN, but just Halloween season in general. It's one of my favorite times of year.
Oh, it is. I love to carve jack-o'-lanterns, make pumpkin seeds, listen to my Halloween jams, Monster Mash, watch The Addams Family and Hocus Pocus. We have all these.
Yeah, all of the Halloween classics. Yeah.
Oh, you know it. Yeah.
The best.
And you've also been attending film school, and you want to get behind the camera too, as a director and filmmaker.
Yeah, that's really where my goals lie right now. Is I want to get more into writing and directing. And eventually, pulling like a Clint Eastwood and being able to star in my own films. But for the time being, I've done in front of the camera acting for so long that I feel like switching over to something like writing, directing kind of gives you a new perspective on the entire film industry. So I think it would be really interesting to see how I could just make a film my own, even if it's not something that I wrote, taking somebody's idea and then being like, all right, this is what I'm going to make out of it. And also being able to do the same thing, but with my own ideas. So I'm really excited to, be pursuing that, and hopefully it all turns out well. And maybe next time we have an interview, I'll be working on my own film.
It's a done deal. I want you back when you're promoting your next 2 movies coming out and when you've directed your own feature film. Brandon, I can't thank you enough for your time today. You've had such an astonishing career so far with Grey's Anatomy, The Martial Arts Kid. I can't wait to see Welcome to LA, Rumors, and Smile, and I can't wait to see you in your directorial debut. We're definitely going to rock out this Halloween. I thank you so much for your time, my friend, and you just keep rocking.
Of course, man. You too. It's good to see you.
Always. Thank you so much for rocking out with me and Brandon Tyler Russell today. You are on air with Kash.